Hey, Cam. Ah, oh, that's low.
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Kim. Ellen's here. Lynette's showing up.
Good morning.
Give me a minute.
Good morning, Jim.
Mindy's here.
Morning, Jim.
Life's good. Everybody's good. Hi, guys. 1 second here. I just gotta set up my phone and we'll be ready to take off.
I've got the worst cold I've had since COVID. I'm not convinced it's not COVID.
Ooh, yeah, I had one of those when I came back from gosh, when I came back from Italy there. It was
Did you?
nasty. It was nasty. I
Oh,
thought it was too. It's like, what else could it be? I mean, but
I
you're,
don't know. This has been like 5 days of this. I still feel pretty grim.
ooh,
Sorry.
understand. That's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we'll paint. That'll make me feel better.
Okay. You're hardcore.
Hope so.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this is an
I'm
interesting
jealous.
one.
I'm jealous. You
You're
put
jealous.
mountains, you put mountains behind your bison.
I stole
We
You
that.
didn't get to see this bison until now. He's been hiding it all week.
you
Yeah.
tricker.
I've been gone. I've been gone all week. I was up at the cottage all week, photographing dogs and stuff like that. So I couldn't even paint on it. I painted on Sunday and didn't like any of it. So I didn't. I was too embarrassed to show
So were all of us.
it.
And you put
Uh,
another bison in.
I just filled in this area back here.
Yeah,
I,
that's a good.
I didn't like what was happening. Sometimes you just need a fresh eye. 1 second, let me shut this. There we go. Yeah, yeah. I just added these kind of bison here. They're just shapes, basically. It's just to fill in this area, so we didn't have a gap here that kind of felt like it was gonna, these guys were centered almost. So I decided to put that in there and trying to do it. One of the big things was softening enough edges, keeping the edges soft enough around these guys that they didn't come forward. So that was always a little thing. And then the grass, this stuff wasn't too bad. Yeah, adding the mountains. I saw that went from who is it? Lisa's uh, got painting she was doing. She had mountains back there. I go, oh, that looks so much better than at my point, because I was had it just like everybody else, just really clean for what was in there. And I said, well, that looked pretty good. So I went and found a photo of mine that had mountains in it. And I said, well, let's put that back there. It can't be. And if I don't like it, I can always repaint it. That's the thing. So we have room to make changes always in painting and stuff. So taking chances shouldn't be that big a deal. So let me finish setting up my phone here and we'll get going.
Jim, do you know James Crandall?
Yeah, I know, Jim.
He
He's
did
good.
he did a he did a very interesting lunch and learn yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, for me it was interesting because it reminded me of you because the whole point of it was how being an illustrator has helped him become a fine art painter.
he's been ripping me off for forever. You know?
But he
Yeah.
paints
Well,
different than you. He paints
I
way
hang,
different
I
than
hang
you
out
do.
with him when we go to when I see him at the conventions and stuff. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Where's
He's
he from?
interesting.
He struck me as having a Pittsburgh accent.
Yeah, he might. I know he's out in LA now. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we have very similar background of from being illustration and stuff. So
I thought it was interesting because I didn't realize I've been following his paintings for a long time and I didn't realize that he literally draws, and then paints over his pencil drawings. Because it looks so loose, but yet it starts out in a much more,
oh, does it?
yeah.
I gotta watch it. I missed it.
Yeah,
That's surprising.
it was interesting. Anyway, yeah.
He's a good guy. He's is he better than me? I don't know.
He's just different, very
He's
different.
different. And that's the way all artists are. We're all just different. We're not, there's just no better than the next guy. You never know. It's all, what the viewer's looking at. Yeah. But yeah, Jim's a good guy. Let's see. This guy, yeah, we talked about him a little bit. Yeah, adding this up here does add a little things to it. Even little. I'm going to point this out to you guys. A few little mistakes. These are mistakes. These are things that should have been taken care of. Hard lines here. You can see this hard line here between the two. Bad. Hard line. Bad. Over here, there was one right here on this guy's. Bad. Okay. Those are little things I look for, and that's I try to tell you guys, soften up, keep, soften that edge up, and that's what I'm talking about. That edge is too sharp. It needs those two pieces of paint need to be slightly blended together, or they jump forward. And that's the thing is, trying to keep things in the right space. It's always a little tough. And it takes time, and that's one of the things I do at the end of a painting is making sure that those guys are in the right spots. Except for, you're gonna miss some. You're gonna miss some, and that's why I'm always pulling paintings down off the wall and touching them up, and then, they never get back on the wall. I'm doing that all the time. Okay. Let's get busy now. We are going to be painting a shot here from this is South Haven, Michigan. I had a little workshop there last year, and Lynette showed up. She was great. She showed up for it. It was a lot of fun. It's only like 2.5 hours away from here. This is where our cottage is, not too far from there, but this has a lot of nice marina, and it's a nice little boating area. They don't buy paintings there though, so I don't have a gallery there. So, but I still want to painted this. I wanted to paint this for a while too. And who was it? I think somebody on Saturday said, "Can we paint a boat?" I said, "Okay, we'll paint a boat." After they saw those sailboats I painted on Monday night, they wanted to paint a boat. So I said, "Okay, we'll do it. We'll paint a boat." And somehow we pulled Mindy in, so this must be good, or Mindy wouldn't be here. So we are going to be painting this. I have to pull it up. I'm sorry, I'm kind of off here a little bit today. I have to pull it off. I have to download it yet. 1 second. Let me download it. That was bad. Kind of lost time there for a second.
You got to do South Haven again. That was wonderful.
Did you? Yeah, you have fun?
We had a great time, and we added on a few days vacation.
Oh yeah, you guys. Yeah, maybe next year. Maybe next year again. I mean, every other year, it seems like every year it gets good, gets a little tiring, unless you're going to France, right? France is different. That's a different. It's kind of nice. I'm going for 2 weeks this year to
Yeah,
France.
Jim, is that right? It's 2 whole weeks you're staying?
I am staying.
Okay,
I have two sessions now.
got it.
She was good enough to give me two. I said I
I'll
was
take
going to
it.
go. I was going back to Italy, so this year. So so she did that. She said
All I can say is that we are very glad we're not there now.
it's burning.
It's absolutely roasting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
So
That's
June
just
is good.
June is good. Okay.
June is good.
Let me see. I'm still trying to pull this up. Shoot, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. No way. All right. Here we comes. Mm, well, we're gonna have to paint fast because I'm taking up all of our time. Anyway, yeah, June's. Well, yeah, we'll be there early July.
Yeah.
It's still hot. Oh, wrong one. Okay. What happened? Okay, let's see if I can see if it showed up. There it is. All right. I didn't do the black and white version of this. I should have. But I have to just squint at it and just say, yeah, it's a lot of grays. We'll just got to go for design, talk about design today and look at it. That this is it's interesting because you got a lot of kind of messy stuff over on this side and a clean boat over here. So this mess stuff over here somehow balances off this boat that's really clean. You need stuff. This stuff. That's what I'm showing. That you do need that weight of stuff, or it will work. One second. Gotta meet. Oh heck. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to jump all the way back out to mute everybody. That's what happens sometimes when people add an extra phone in here and stuff. No big deal. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, what was I talking about? Yes, I was talking about this stuff over the side, even though it's kind of crap and stuff like that. You do need most of it. You need some weight to balance off this guy. This is what they call a steelyard design, where you have basically everything running on one line, but you have weight on one side balanced by stuff over here. So you have your big dominant image part over here, and it's balanced weight wise by some other stuff that's not important, but it has just enough craziness or not, enough weight to balance it. And it doesn't have to be as equally. You don't want it as equal. You definitely want this guy to shine. So little things like, okay, yeah, you probably could get away without doing the mask, that kind of stuff, and just keep it in there. But also, it's kind of neat. Put that stuff in. I took it easy on you guys. I took out a lot of stuff that was back in here. I don't think there is a person here. So if you want to put him in, you bring some life to it. That's interesting. You might turn him around and have him facing that way. Other little things. Yeah, the boat. I'll show you how we're going to do all this little teeny delicate stuff. You don't do it until the end, so you're going to have to stick around till the end. So we put that in and this stuff in, and like this stuff too. I'll show you a little trick I came up, which I came up with it. Yes, I came up with it. No one else in the world probably ever thought of this, but I'll show you my little trick of doing longer uh, lines like this up here. Uh, if you know, if you ever run into it, like doing a boat with sailboat, and you have all those riggings and stuff, how to put them in. Yeah, how you can put them in kind of simply and in one time instead of painting each one, you know, with a little teeny brush. You can use how I use a ruler, a little plastic ruler. I paint the edge of it and just drop it in. I'll show you how I do it. But okay, besides that, design wise, yeah, good to go, good to go. Colors, fun, simple kind of blues against grays again. Always a good, nice combination of colors. Uh, touch of orange there, nice. So yeah, not too bad. Uh, just a lot of little stuff, and then the kind of little stuff, when I paint that little stuff, I'll be putting in a lot of this kind of stuff in with my knife, and then just touching it with a brush because it will give it this give this it the sturdiness it needs, but it will also soften it up a little bit. So it's kind of that's why you kind of use both things. Um, Other things, yeah, this stuff back in here. When you do this stuff, do these little lines and uh, masks, things like that. Well, really look at the color. Don't just put them in black. You know, look at the color. They have a lot of blue in them, but those are basically blue back in here. These guys definitely are light, a medium blue. This is a little bit darker blue. So look for blue in those colors, and you'll be fine. You can always get away with putting them in as a dark blue instead of putting them in as black, because that will definitely give you so much more distance.
Jim, underneath those things that you just circled.
Down in
They-
here,
Yeah. Okay. So there's another person there, I see. But nonetheless, no, those sort of buildings, and there's like maybe a chimney or something. They're all sort of dark. Ah, yeah. Are you going to paint any of that, or is that just going to be like
uh, you know, they okay, it's going to be nothing but shapes.
shapes? Okay.
Just try. I'm just gonna try to be. This is kind of fun. This is where I try to show detail without doing detail, by showing by hitting uh, just the essence of the shape or what's there, and being able to tell the story. There is a guy there. That's great pickup. I
Yeah.
did not look in that area. I was looking at this thing back here. You see this crane? That's a little crane. This blue thing with the
Yeah.
white top. They pick up huge boats with that thing and roll them around this yard. Yeah, there is water there too back there. There's supposed to be water back there. That car is on the other side of the the the, the bay there. So that's pretty far out there. So I'm pretty sure that is. Okay. I know that building's on the other side. So anyway, uh yeah, if you squint that down on that, there is it you basically only see this kind of shape back there behind these things, uh and some windows back there. I don't really see this. You don't want, if you do paint that kind of detail, you got to paint it in the right color space or perspective. You can't let it come forward. You can't let the contrast or the color be too bright that it jumps forward on us and comes past the boat or comes closer to the boat and everything. It just kind of, it's one of those little things you adjust. You just keep adjusting at the end till you get it right. You don't let it pop too far forward, because these guys here are kind of not much there. This is an end of a boat here, and then you got this front of a boat here. And then you have everything that's holding it up, you know. There was a boat here that got taken out, so that's why you just see these guys here, these stands here.
How
left
about
over.
the concrete forecourt? Are we gonna paint?
We got a couple concrete things. That is just up kind of fun. You can trim into it. You know, this is a kind of interesting kind of little look too. If you did trim off a little bit
Yeah.
on the bottom and kept it a little heavier down there, that's fine. You know, I would say, you know, and you can always add more space at the top if you need to, you know, lower this a little bit and get a little bit of height. But when you do that, it's just blue up there. I mean,
Yeah, no.
there's
already plenty of blue.
there's plenty of blue, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you could go up probably another, you know, half inch, an inch, you know, type thing. And if it's going to help make a better design at the bottom, that's composition. That'd be great. No qualms. Yeah, I might. A lot of times when I lay these things out up and start to lay them out, they just kind of move on their own a little bit too. So let's get over to the palette and start figuring out color wise what colors we have here. All right, you guys good? Any questions? Nothing again. Nothing for Mindy again. See, Mindy's my
Oh, nothing for me.
She's my whipping post today. She's here. How you doing, Mindy? Great to hear
Great.
from you.
Good seeing you, Jim.
Good seeing you, girl. Okay. Oh, here we go. These are regular colors. Again, nothing too flashy. You just got titanium white. I do have some cad yellow light. Not much. Hopefully I don't need much in this painting. Cad red light, cad orange. This is orange ochre. Ran out of regular pale ochre, and regular ochre I don't have right now. So I do have some orange ochre. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I won't be using it. I don't order it, so I usually don't have it. Oxide red light, or Terra Rosa, or burnt sienna, or not burnt sienna. Venetian red would be great. This is crimson, alizarin crimson, cobalt blue hue from Utrecht, phthalo green from phthalo green up on the blue side. And I do have some, this is a transparent oxide red. Okay. And this over here, this is orange oxide up there. That's just left over. Painted, we paint from painting on Monday. And then our big brushes. Definitely these big brushes, when they got that kind of edge on them, man, you can paint a boat easily with this thing. Look at that sharpness. That can just help you to draw one out really easy. Of course, some other synthetics to help going with that, some synthetics. But then we have our bristle brushes over here, which will come in and do their part very nicely. My paint eraser, just in case, you never know. Always use it. It seems like not going to use it, but I end up doing it. And then I have my nice little knife. Oh, I mentioned it. This is my really expensive plastic ruler. It is 12 inches long. Believe that. It is 12 inches long. What I do is when I make a pile of paint, I'll just paint the edge like this with paint. And then I just hold it in one spot and line it up and drop it and pull it up. It won't be a perfect line, but it's going to be good enough to give the idea. And sometimes you don't really want a perfect line, because those tend to lead you places. And not going to be super delicate, but it'll work. Okay. Let me get my stuff off here. Do my oil out. And where's my paint photo? Put my photo up. Yep. This could be pretty nice, I think, because of the color. I think that it's the bright blue sky against some of the blue green in the boat, and then the grayness and some strong darks. That's always fun doing strong when you have structure like this. You got these darks here holding this boat in place. You got shadows, you got side things, you got schmutz over here, all kind of, and even the dark windows kind of holding that boat right together for us. So it's not going to go anywhere. So we got plenty of time to paint this. Okay. Color wise, definitely blues and grays are going to be really nice to have today. So it's going to be doing a lot of blue. I'm going to go with some of my darker colors again first. So I'm going to go with blue and alizarin. I see this in underneath the boat. I think it's going to hold that spot nicely. So I'm going to do one on the alizarin side. As you can see, you can start to see it come down. Yeah. And then one on the blue side. Not too much alizarin all into it. But still slightly on the blue side. That's even probably too much alizarin. Almost. All right. So we have that. Now we need, I'm just going to go through it and I'll go, yeah, I need some grays and do need some blue grays. So we're going to have to go through a few other grays here too. Blue and transparent oxide up here, or burnt sienna. Burnt sienna would be good. Burnt sienna might even be probably even a better fit because of it'll make that gray of the road perfectly. Where this will, probably just a hair too yellow, and but we will play with it and we can make it work too. You can get to almost any color. Again, you can get to any color with these things. You don't have to have burnt sienna. You don't have to have the exact color. These colors can just by adding a touch of red or yellow or blue to things, you can just really get them pretty close to what they need to be. And that's all we have to do is get them close. Okay. I'm going to do, so that one's nice and warm. I need a little bit cooler version of it. So we're going to do it's oxide red version. No, we're not. Not going to do, yes, we're going to do cad red light and blue. Cad red light and blue. It's going to be an interesting one. This one's going to be on the red side. This is definitely going to be on the blue side. Just a warm kind of a red brown. I was just looking at these boats here, and this kind of thing back in here, where this color could definitely go in those areas. This blue, the purple area. I mean, if I do this too much with too cool, I'm afraid it's not going to read in space. But we'll see. We'll see. And a lot of times it's just warming things up and cooling them off at the end. So okay, so we got some really dark some things, grays, reds, blues. blue greens. That's about all we need. Definitely when you have a lot of boats like these kind of boats and sailboats, you're going to have a lot of blue green in your color. So phthalo green and blue. This might even end up probably in the sky. I wouldn't doubt it. Definitely watch the blue, the green in it. And like I didn't have much there, and I think I already blew out the blue, but we'll see. Try to make this one more on the green side a little bit. We'll see. If I pull it down. Yeah, yeah, it definitely is better. That's a little work. All right, I'm going to split these colors and bring them down. And look for a value on my painting. I want it to kind of, be, I would say probably between these two, it's probably going to be around 6. We're going to have some darker areas. I'm going to go with a 6, maybe 7, probably. Go with a 6. Sometimes I've been painting dark, so maybe I should just go paint a little lighter. Go for a value of 6. 6 is the value I'm gonna go for. And this is 8. And that might be. Let me see what this. That's blue, and you can see. Oh yeah, you can see that all over this painting. No, sorry, it's not all. There we go. Close enough. Close enough. Slightly, doesn't have to be quite on the thing. These colors I'm making here, these alizarins and the blue are probably not going to be huge in this painting. Oh boy, that talk about overpowering. Well, I thought it was. Yeah, it's at a 5 now. It needs to be. Bring it back. There we go. Yeah, see that can get definitely. It's a little greenish for some things, but so let's see what the yellow side does. And then I'll adjust. Then adjust. See, got it. Nailed it, nailed it, nailed it, nailed it, nailed it. So I got the ground and a lot of these things up here, these darks stuff are going to figure. At least I know, where they're going to be. Like blue grays, definitely not.
Where did that blue gray come from?
This one
Yeah.
came from oxide red light and blue.
Oxide
This is blue though. On the blue side, that's red side next to it.
Well, that one came out of CAD red, didn't it?
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Sorry. You're right. I did use CAD red. I did not use oxide. I did use CAD red. You're right. Did you play that thing back already and look at it?
No, but I'm just looking at my piles.
I did not use. Yeah, it's CAD red and blue. This one has not too much CAD red into it. This one has tons more. Boy, good catch. I kind of see even up things up here, like these little things, can be put in more with a purple than the the other colors in. I see yellows and I see blues and greens in there. Sometimes just a simple purple like that can do everything. And sometimes, so you're sometimes simplifying the colors too. Okay, this is blue and phthalo green, but this is on the blue side, and I took it very easy on putting in the phthalo on this side, so I could get this boat color and things like that. And so this is on the green side, which, definitely I can see it in here in certain places. You can start to see it. Okay. What we're gonna need is probably now to design the sky, since it's half the painting. See, this is the kind of stuff, as you water it down, you can use it for these things back in here too. Those little things. So, but the sky is cooler. So we're gonna go with just blue. And I'm gonna put in just a touch of alizarin into it. And then add white to about, again, that is probably closer to, shoot, this is too light. Well, you can, when I see it, you can start to put it in, you can start to see how cool this color is. Value is pretty good. So that value is pretty good. That's probably around a 6 too. But as you can tell, it slightly needs to be warmed up. I'm going to snake it just a little bit of the phthalo green here. Bring it over. I have to steal some up there. Let me
Jen,
check.
what did you start that with?
I started it
This
with.
is Ellen.
Hi, Ellen. I started with blue and just a hair of alizarin. Not like these guys, where these guys have pretty much equal, so it's really, really blue, and trying to get it in here. But when I do this, I can see the warmth that's showing through. It's not right. So it is going to be a little bit more. Then I look at my screen and I go, oh my God, it's so much better on my screen. What am I doing? Definitely needs a little bit more blue, just a hair more phthalo green. These guys are, as you can see, just we're a little bit more for the boat area. This is also going to be able to get up here and do a lot of this boat stuff too. Okay, that's better. That is better. I am just going to do one more straight, just a little bit darker. Because sometimes the white just kind of pushed through here a little bit, made it just a hair chalkier than yeah, it's really, really close. Just a touch more green then into it. And then instead of going to white, I'm just going to use this color and tone this, or the sky color, and tone this back down so it's not. And there you go. That'll work. Okay. This will be the dark part of the painting of the sky up at the edge, and then as it comes down, it's going to lighten up. And this little pile, this is the kind of stuff that gets into everything. That's going to be fun. I'm going to go back here to this one too and tone it down. I think it is still on the red side way too much, so I'm going to put some more blue into this. It's not going to ever get close, into these guys, but what I want to do is just get it close enough that I can use it in here. I mean, I want to have few little things to touch up here. I don't want to end up using too many of the same colors stuff. And normally I would say that's really close to it, but I want to do one more color just because I am here now. Phthalo and alizarin. I think I can use this as a gray purple. I need the gray purple in it, just for this kind of stuff. I think it's going to be really nice. So it's just, I have these guys, but I think I need just a tinge of greenness to it. So I'm going to add just enough white to make it to a 7-ish, 6-ish. See, this is what I was talking about. How value, it just, still reads purple. Yeah, and this reads just on the green side. This one should be on the purple side. Just a little more alizarin in it. Oh, that's
Where
enough.
are you thinking that's going?
I can see it in
The back there.
areas here and
Yeah,
stuff,
okay.
and it might end up. This color could definitely be that building back there.
Right.
It's just basically a slight tone change. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's a nice purple. Okay, so I'm going to take these guys down a little bit more to just to have a nice variety of cools, because in the shadows of this painting, I think is where all the real kind of fun power is. And like I said, when I get painting, I don't want to stop and mix this color. Because this color, look at this color. Okay, this is another place. Goes right there. So it goes right up there too. And it's that part. You gotta have this color. All right, now we need a couple of yellows and whites, and we're done. We really just need our highlight colors. I need so I'm going to take some oxide, just a little bit of oxide, cad orange on one, cad yellow, and steal a little blue. And a lizard. Okay. So I'm just going to add white to these guys, bring it up to probably close to 2s. I mean, really, the highlights on that thing is really at 1. So basically, if I would have put out white first and then took a little bit, just a hair of color, I probably would have been there. But I don't want them being too white. You do them too white, and it's you lose the color. The colors don't sing. You lose. So that's one. This one.
So what did you put out? Blue?
Yeah, this I just
alizarin
took it from the
yellow?
blue sky. I just took
Okay.
the blue sky and brought it over, and just used white, and took it to probably 2. So I'm going to take the rest of these to 2. The camera does blow out these things a lot too. So sometimes I find cad orange in these lights has been doing a nice trick for me. That's too much cad orange. I'll use up all my white. I've been finding that up in here too. And then my yellows. Definitely too much yellow again, but I can always get there. Always have a piece of bling around. Too bright, too much. Definitely can get it in there. Yeah, it needs to go. Definitely whatever's on my knife here, the yellow mount and white. I'll just use that and I can get it in there. That'll work. Oxide red over here. I just use some transparent oxide. I'm thinking about these things too. So it's like, hey, maybe I'll just use a mix and match stuff when I get to that area. Okay. Basically, I should put some blue in that. And I got it. Yeah, got it. But that's just the way these things go. Sorry about that. I was mixing this color, and when I'm just looking through here, I saw how close it was to the sides and some of these warmer yellows. These guys, the yellow kind of showing through. But I said, you put it up there, and sorry, let me give you a thing here. As you can see, value-wise, it's right, but it just needs to go greener. And that's just adding blue to that, making the yellow in that oxide, transparent oxide come through. But I'm going to bring the rest of this down here to see how it goes. Just, you never know when you see, there you go. It's transparent oxide doing its job. Okay. Now I'm just going to go back in and lighten up a few of these areas here because I was looking at this stuff here. Definitely can be into here, and into the building. These guys I need to get a little bit lighter in the sky here on this guy. This is for the main sky, maybe going in here, but I do need to lighten it up probably to about a 4 value. So I'm gonna add enough white. Take it to a 4 and get it down here on the ground. As I come down now, you can see it warm up. So it does have just a little phthalo into it. So I'm gonna add just a little phthalo green to my blue white here.
Is that's blue white, or does it have some green in it?
Now it has some green in it.
Okay.
It had a little bit of a alizarin to it because I thought it was going to end up being a cooler sky. But that really ended up being more gray. I mean, a graying, and I had to gray it out with some green, and it grayed the blue out just enough to make it work. Okay. So that I was thinking lower, and now it's just a hair too value-wise. Getting it in there. Yeah, now it's closer. Now it's a little warm, but it's warm, add blue to it. There we go. I'm just leaving it there. That's good. That I can feel from this, that, and to here, and with that here and there. Definitely can get this guy here just a little sky to it. I think I can get it back into that. Okay. That was just phthalo green, and it was supposed to be over here too. That worked out pretty well. Okay. I'll go through these colors.
Jim, what do you think is going to be the color on your palette of the prow of the main boat?
Oh, this yellow?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I would say it's going to come from this oxide colors and mixed in with these guys.
Okay.
You're right. I probably could take this color down a little bit more. you go there. I just oxide came from the oxide and blue. On the oxide side, brought it over here. This has just a little bit of orange that I had left in here. I'm going to put this yellow in here, and it should be right there. How rich warmth it got. There you go. All right, so I'll get you that color. Like nice putty color. It does not. You look at that and you don't, but then you put this in there, you go, oh yeah. But then you just add touches of yellow to it or more red to it, like this, value wise, it's going to stay in the same family. And you can get that in the corners. So you don't get paint, you don't have one big shape that's just this color. It's going to have some of this color. It's going to have some yellow into it. And some orange and more orange into it. Just like the sky, just like everything else. It's going to have just a secondary color. So a lot of things over here, you get, there are only two colors. You one, two, a light and two colors in the lights, two colors in the darks type thing. But when you get to your main thing, you're going to try to get at least three colors in there, especially in the sky too. So we have a lot of variations going in there.
I mean, I have ochre, so ochre
Ochre would work great.
yeah, we can get some ochre in there. Okay.
You could get ochre in there. You could get some green in there. You can do some fun things. All right, here we go. Color wise, I just started off with blue and my cobalt blue hue and alizarans. Brought them to about a 6 value with white. Pieces of them, split piles. Here we did blue and transparent oxide or burnt sienna, bringing it down to, again, like 6. This is on the red oxide side, transparent oxide side. This is on the blue side. Then we also did blue and had red light. And you can see how rich that kind of colors are. They're really nice when they get, but then you put a little bit of white in them, they gray out. Kind of nice. Over here, we just did blue and phthalo green. Very close. I did not push the green too hard. So this, I try to keep this on the blue side. This is on the slightly more green side. Over here, we did some more blues. These are for the sky, though. We did blue. I put in a little bit of alizarin, trying to cool it off into the sky, feeling that it's going to cool off here and there. I want, over in here, I see it feel a little cooler. But it also warmed up too. And right here, of course, the sun's on it. It probably should warm up. So I have these two for my dark areas up top. Then I have a medium tone for in here. And then I'm going my lighter tones at the very bottom. When I did that, I just knew I saw what it was doing, this color over here, and I knew it was going to be like phthalo green and alizarin. It's going to make a different kind of purple. This color here is going to be really fun because it does get into these areas because you're not like, I don't want to paint a wall with just very kind of cool purples and things. You're going to have some warm purples in there too to make these guys pop out. And then my really light colors, some came just from these guys. This is right here, like gonna be pretty much the boat color down here in the front. That came from transparent oxide and blue with a lot of white in it, a lot of white. Also, there's a touch of orange in here and a touch of yellow in here now. So it got this real putty color. But I'm going to be putting oranges and yellows in this area too. Make it work. This is transparent oxide with just a touch of blue in it with white. This is transparent oxide just with white. This is blue and white. This came from the sky color over here. And just white, just light ones. you're gonna find them back in here when you start doing the cooler sides of some of these lights. Pinks. This is just alizarin and white. This is cat orange and white. And this is yellow and white. And this is more white and a little bit less yellow coming for that. This is probably going to be the main color, as you can start to see. This is just good to have little punches. The guys back in here, we're just going to find colors. You know, if I have to grab a red for this guy, if you know, you can't see him. So, but if you do bring humans in, you know, they can just be stick figures almost. Just basically, just a little weight to their bodies and stick figures. Okay. That's about it. Oh, I didn't do this yellow in here. I mean, that nice yellow, but I'm sure I can find it, you know, in here. So that's enough time on that. Let's get any questions on the colors. Okay, we're moving on. Let's get to painting this. Got to draw it out yet. Good. This is about as close as I get. I'm only painting a 12 by 16 on this. You know, sometimes when I'm painting these things, I just you get a kind of a feel for the painting, how much, you know, what size it should be. And that's where I was thinking on this one. It just doesn't, it's either can be a large painting or a very small painting, or not a small painting, a medium sized painting. And that's where I was coming off with on this one, saying is I think this feels more like a small painting where the details will be beautifully indicated. You know, that's the thing, is if you can get the indications nicely done, you don't have to show them all. You don't have to paint everything perfectly. All right, toning it. Transparent oxide. I'm just going to do a little bit of warmer tone to it. Take it easy in the sky. You know, be warmer down in here. Still trying to keep everything kind of at the bottom third, you know, down here again. You know, I have a lot of weight here. And the boat here. I'm going to place the boat first. You know, when you get there, make sure I have that in the right spot, because all this other stuff is really not even that important for being, you know, perfectly placed. That guy, you know, definitely is. So just a slight tone to warm tone to the sky. And this is where, like I said, this guy comes in pretty nice. Little, nice little brush like this. Not little, but something that can hold its line like this. Catching that line. Go over here. Slight angle back so it's not totally flat here. So it says a slight more angle to it. Probably. And then this has just is a little bit, it's a little more graceful than the straight lines. Why they aren't there. They're not going to paint anything above that. Even that little thing there's another little thing up there in the sky. Definitely don't want to get too much into that stuff to paint around. So this guy can come just a little bit farther out. We've got the building back there. I'm going to use this thing as a perspective line point back in here, so everything kind of shoots back there. One of the things, again, tangents, making sure this boat line here, does not run into the baseline of the building. So I'll make that building slightly bit smaller. So when you put in those, dark squares here, back in here, that this bottom line here doesn't line up with a line on the boat or something like that. That's what you want to stay away from. Especially the top of the comes almost all the way to the top there too. So what I want to do is definitely want to bring that down to make sure that you don't have a boat line ending up with a roof line like it does in the photo. You definitely don't want that. So I mean, it's going to just fall back into space a little bit. Then you got, things here, you got things taking over. I'm not going to paint those. I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to figure out, angles here, maybe just a touch more angle to the shadows. Take advantage of angles to bring dynamics to to the painting, especially in these shadows. You can get away with so much in shadows, right? You know, just bringing it down and having it shoot you into that painting, you know, is nice. Sidewalk, not so much a big thing. The cone, you know, the red cone. You know, I'm thinking about it like marking my name and stuff. Put a cone above, write my name down here, and put that red cone above it. I think that will work. Uh, no, I I was just goofing. All right, so we got our main boat placed, sort of going in here. A lot of oil for some reason keeps running here a little bit. Okay. These boats here, that's the thing is, this one these just got to have enough weight on them and have enough hair of a story here to say what it is, about this is a boat. Um, Definitely needs to be, it's about the right position. I wouldn't go any higher. Just enough information, you know, it says it's a boat there, and then it's back this other boat that's coming back in here. Again, making sure that it does not line up anywhere with this boat here, so that it really, separates out back in here. These guys here are going to have a little bit of losing a little bit of space back in here, because when he's trying to make changes, making sure that I don't have any really big things. Okay, everything else up there is in the sky. And then back in here, basically, I'm just going to put in the building. I'm going to put in slightly lower. Kind of getting close. If I put it where I want to, it's going to, again, come off this back boat here, this boat piece here, and it's look like it's going off too far. Move that down just a hair more. Maybe I can, just long as those guys don't hit each other right. Always little things I'm thinking about when I'm doing these, even laying them out. Okay. And then little things here. Again, there's this square here. I'm going to be back here, the carrier. I'm not going to worry about that. This thing has a few things here. Just mark off a little bit of that, and shadows, where the shadows go. Again, use these shadows as beautiful pointers into the painting. Even some of the shadows from, other masts on other boats, coming in and crossing over, just adds a lot of life to this kind of painting. Need to have the gravel, a little bit of gravel show here, but not by much. All right. As you can see, this thing is dripping nicely on me. Like I said, I could almost get away with doing a straight. This one is almost perfectly straight. Well, all right, let's get a move on, and get this boat here, this front boat, some of the stronger shadows on it to help it out. I'm gonna go with the blue and alizarin first. Blue and alizarin straight, really strong. Like I said, I want to put it underneath this boat, right here in the shadows. And I'm going to bring, like I said, bring that shadow out. As I bring it out, gets closer to me, and so I'm going to change it to a red. A little bit on the front edge, at least. Keep it blue on the back edge. It has a lot of reflective in this shadow right in here. It has a lot of reflective blue green from the boat itself reflecting up back up right in here. So I'm gonna just grab some blue green. It might be a little too dark, but that's gonna at least remind me that it's there. I'm gonna, okay, this is just blue green that I was mixing up without white. I was mixing it up for this back in here. So I'm just gonna start putting it in. And I still have a little bit of purple from my brush. And I figured I might as well gonna go with this. I'm gonna put it in a little dark and then lighten it up. This is almost like it reminds me of the Gilligan, Gilligan's Island's boat. You remember that? Come on, you're all remember Gilligan Island. We all.
The SS Minnow.
Yes, that's Minnow. There you go. I knew somebody knew it. I'm going to bring this out a little bit more, but okay. So half the painting's done. We're done. We're almost there. Now, I'm going to use, go back to the blue now. Sorry, the blue and the alizarin. And just, think about putting in these windows, dark in these windows here. This is on the blue side. It should be really on the blue side now, though. Maybe I'll go to, I'm going to go to the phthalo green and blue for these windows on this sunnier side here. There is one window here that is really blue. Might have something else over it. It might not even be window here. I got God, this thing looks a little fat too now. Like this shape wise here. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's the thing is I can always thicken this line out and thin it out down this way. And now I got all the parts of the boat up here that can come down and get in here too. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, it still looks a little heavy, but it is the main focus. And this is where I was saying where I was going to get that. So I bring that top that building back down a little bit farther even when I get there. In fact, let's just do it. I'm gonna put the building in back there. Since I still have, this is, since I still have blue and, alizarin on my thing, I'm just gonna put in some doors back in here. And put them in at one. And I'll just paint the stripes in between them. I'm gonna keep it kind of thin, so it has a lot of texture going on in there. So it can look like there's stuff going on back there and in there. This is a little bit dark, but I think I'm going to be using a little bit of lighter blue greens in there. Let's put in this one. I'm going to put this one in over here, this shadow in too, since it's dark. But I'm going to go back to the blue side. This one. A little bit of oil. Oil's just. Since I still have that blue purple on my brush, I'm going to paint the darks in beginning with these ones. At least this front boat here, it can be a little bit more purple than the other ones. Purple underneath here, this little area. And the other things. Okay. I am just going to put in the sky now. Since I got all this blue, purples and greens on my brush, I'm just going to put in the dark part of that sky first. And I just cleaned up my brush a little bit, but not too perfect. I'm going to put the dark in, and I'm going to radiate it so it's a little bit darker on this side, just then lighten up as I go back a little bit like this, so it's not too straight up and down, so it has a little bit of darkness at the top, but not, it's going to be more on the right side. Over here, and then I'll lighten it up. Gonna get that richness coming in. And then I'll lighten it to the next side here. So there's just a little bit more white to it, and then the next one has a lot more white to it. So the colors shouldn't just, jump too much here. Usually I'd be using this sky to pretty much do all the cleanup at the end. So we're just gonna have to keep it clean, not gonna have, when we put everything in there, these little lines and stuff like that, definitely you do need to have the sky in before we get there. But those are the last things anyone can be putting in. Okay. I'm gonna go to my next color, my next white or sky color. This could be just slightly, yeah. Just gonna bring it in and then pull these two together. A little lighter now. Go to the green. This is just a little more phthalo in this sky. And I'm going to keep it to the left side and work it back. Let it cool off as it comes across here. I'll keep it that way. The light just starts to radiate and it'll start to mix over here. It should be good. Go right down to that building where that building is. That was, and then just a hair lighter, the very bottom of it. Over here, probably need to go a little bit lighter. On this side of the boat here, coming up a little bit. Now I'm just going to take a little of that phthalo green and in the sky part that I was using down in here. And I just bring it up into a little bit darker spot. Just twist my brush off, run it through here and be a little bit hint of some air and cloud in here. Breaks up the sky too. It just doesn't look, too flat. Could be flat. All right, everything's got some paint on the thing. Going good. Let's finish up this building back here. Let me go to that color. This is phthalo green and alizarin with a little bit of white in it. Kind of made it up at the end there. I'm going to keep it dark and let it be dark a little bit, and I'll lighten it up, maybe little pieces of it. Just a hint of doors. I'm just going to look for how to run this color out of my brush a little bit. See this. Okay, I see it now. Let me see. All right. So the next part of this thing, I'm gonna paint in this schmutz stuff here over here. Start to put in some of these purples and stuff since I got a lot of blue. This you are gonna get a lot of reflections in these purples from the sky. You're definitely gonna get, the sky doing, adding a lot to this painting. So blues and purples are going to be the thing back in here. Let's just finish off this boat a little bit more. I have that here. This is blue and transparent oxide, the very dark colors. I can put that on this bottom of this boat here. This might be a hair too dark, but it will help me separate this part of this boat from this boat, making sure that they don't get there. There is a rudder in the back here, but I'm not going to put it in at this point. It's just too early. I mean, I don't want to paint around it. There are some other things back in here. There's a ground line right in here. And there is I guess said a ship or something right in here. And it has a guy on the back edge. But comes right here to this line. Probably. It has a little bit of orange to it. Don't think I have that color, but I'm going to go with cad red and blue. And on the red side, and put that in here. Just going to finish put in these buildings back in here, these kind of purple building stuff. I'm going to be dropping down now to my mid colors. The blue grays are going to be really the call of the rest of the painting. So, yes, a little too dark. So if it's too dark, add some sky to it. That's what you do. You want to add sky to the, instead of just adding white now, you add sky. There's a little bit, a few things there going to go in here. Also have this crane here type thing. That's got to go in here. I figured I'll do this building across the thing here. It's going to come right into this boat here. And then I can get everything else. Then I'll spend a lot of time on the boat. Look for some of these purples again. This is as I see them, I kind of call them out basically. This window here on this far boat here definitely is phthalo green and blue alizarin on the. This is on happens to be on the alizarin side because it's cooler. But then there's just a little bit of warmth coming, a little coolness coming in that too. So for that. Boy, oil's runny today. Let's see. So it's everything now is pretty much mid-tony. In that 6 area. So everything back here, even my darks back in here, not going to be back full strength. These guys are all at 6 is pretty much the as dark as I'm going to go. Just gotta get to the right ones though. I got a little bit too big a brush to keep going. Do all the stuff in here now. So I'm gonna have to switch off to a synthetic. It's a little bit smaller. And I can look at this and start going, okay. Bringing that sky into these darks again, into the shadows. Is going to be really what makes this thing kind of has a lot of fun to it. Looks like you did a lot and you didn't do much. Just getting in a few other things here. Some of my colors, value wise and everything else, it's pretty good. They're not already in decent spot. I had to shoot back here and do I did not do blue and I one of the areas here this the boat with a tire here. The tire definitely I can go with a blue and cad red for that. And I'm also going to use it for this boat here. I think of this, that's kind of blue, use a little bit more of the blue in the here because this is a little dark now. I can start to take this boat back a little bit. Just needs a little bit of sky into it. That's too much. So wipe out my brush and push it back in. No work. That won't work. I need to go up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in these things. I try to put in the shadows first, basically because I think it's a lot of fun to kind of paint their edges. Okay. Just reminding myself where everything goes. Okay. Just trying to get a little bit done here before I jump to my lights. All right, I want to put in a couple verticals. I'm going to put in this carrier rig, the crane thing in here. Definitely, I'm going to use like um, some of these darker blue greens I made up. Now that the sky's done, I'm going to go almost full strength because I'm going to be going into the sky. So just a touch of oil on my brush. And I'm just going to be laying down a couple straight lines, the tip of my brush here. So right here, you can see it almost coming out of the back end. But definitely going to move it over so it's not coming in, you know, edging up to the back edge here. Yes, a hair wider. There we go. So I'm going to just leave this there. So I got that blue on my night thing here. I can start to put in a few of these windows on this boat. Just gonna basically put in all that paint. And I'm just gonna pull off a little bit and then put in a little bit of sky into the bottom edge here. It looks a little tinted too. So I'm putting them in not with the sky color, I'm putting them in with a little phthalo and blue from the bottom of the boat here, which we're going to get to next. Since I'm painting it, what's on my on here, I mean, this might go up just a hair higher too. It's back edge here, it goes up and starts to go up a little bit higher. All right. Let's get to the bottom of the boat. Let's get some color into this boat here. Definitely, I'm going to start again with a little bit of more purple on the bottom edge here, purple one, and then bring in my favorite green and blue mix, mostly blue. I put it in with that other brush. That's why I'm putting it in again, because it's just a little streaky. We go with a little more green and blue. towards the front edge here. It's a little dark, but it's all right. Gonna lighten it up. And then when I get back in here, I'm just gonna keep it the same color. Basically, it's a little bit more blue on the back end. And then I'm gonna come down and just hit the one, a little bit of white. This is on the green side. And I'm just gonna touch in the shape and just leave it. I try not to mix. I'll let the two be a little bit. Now that I got a mix in my brush, I'm gonna go do the back edge. I might even go lighter, just a hair lighter in this. The color as I get to the very back. So I'm taking a little bit of the sky phthalo green, a mix I used up there into this paint. Paint this very back edge here, a little bit of a. It might be just a here too bright. Touch it in place. Might be. Then I'm going to come and get this front edge here just a touch more. It's not too perfect. So it has a little bit of things there. I just want some more yellow on that back end. I think that'd be cool, better. Color here. Get a little bit more warmth right back in here. Just put a little cad yellow into my brush, working it in. Touch, 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 touch. All right. You said midtones and stuff. Still in the blues. I don't like to jump to my warmer colors yet, but we are going to the midtones and stuff. So I'm gonna look for trying to fill in these spots here. Let me see if this is just a little bit too. Okay. A little bit too. One second. Going in with this is a oxide red, transparent oxide red, and blue. Just a little base color. That one should be a little bit more on the blue side and lighter. And that's it. That was it. That was right. So one side was transparent oxide with white and blue and white. That was this one. I tried it back there, but wasn't spot. So it's really the green side comes back here, or the blue side came on this side. So. All right, it's not perfect. Just might add just a little bit of sky to it, that color. And get the very top edge a little bit, and the same over here. Maybe just dragging it into the bottom of that dark. That's about all you have to do. They don't get a ton more of attention. All right, next color. You know, I have this alizarin and blue mix at the very beginning, and on the alizarin side with white in it. You know, it's just too white. You know, too purple, right? Okay, I'm gonna do a mix. This is those two. This is alizarin and blue with white in it, but it's on the red side. It's a little bit too cool. It's a little, you know, and basically all I'm doing is throwing in some oxide, transparent oxide, and blue mix at the same value into that. So it's graying it out, but I still get a coolness to it. It's just a gray purple. And yeah, it's just here. Might have to add some little bit of white to it. You white to it, just enough white. Bring it up probably more to fours and stuff. This is really a gravel color back in here. Just a hair more warmth and white. And then I'm just going to add just a touch of oil in my brush to make it run. So I can get this cool gravel back in here and use this to get in these areas here. Because the gravel up front is very warm. I don't want too perfect. I just love the little cut in here with my brush like this, and create little marks that represent something, and they do it pretty well. So right underneath the boat, there's a couple little lines, and then there's this one right into the bottom of the boat. As I come forward from that spot here, back there, warms up a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of that transparent oxide into my purple color here. So it grays it out a little bit, warms it up a little bit more. It might be not enough, but yeah. Okay. A little bit more, maybe even going with the blue and the oxide as I get to right here. Yeah. It comes down here, comes right around the shadow. And as I go like this too, definitely I want to leave this kind of stuff happening. I want transparencies. I want marked brush strokes. I don't want too many perfect areas back there. You want a little bit of everything going on, a little smorgasbord of strokes happening. And bring that color up here and finish it off here too. There's some stuff here, but I can put it up here front. Just take off the top edge of that. I'm going to touch the blue too. I'm going to touch this right into that thing. Touch the edge of the shadow here, and just nick it up a little bit so it's not too perfect. There we go. Okay. since I got this color on my brush, I'm gonna go and just paint paint this stuff too. Just a little bit of the sidewalk here for the things. This is a blue and transparent oxide. This is on the transparent oxide side without really any white. I'm just going to try and thin it out. The white I have on it is what's left over from here. So that's all I'm using. And leaving strokes so it looks like it's, not overworked, because it's not overworked, right? Okay. There you go. You got a great little block in going, even without the rest of the boat being painted. This stuff's really quite good enough to go with almost the way it is without all, there's a lot of little scratches and lines and little things there, little dots of red, little things like that to put in, a couple variations of color, adding in here, because definitely, I can see some green, you know, just like in here, we have that green. I was going to put in like this, really kind of simple and just bring it back around. I also see it right in here, this guy's edge too. But this oil was kind of runny. So I was just, but sometimes when it's runny like that, more oil, and not more oil, but paint with, you know, a opaque paint will fill it in. Just going to put a little bit of blue into this rudder back there. I think that's a rudder, what you call a rudder. On my boat now, it just shows up so quickly, doesn't it? Little lines and stuff. I mean, don't let you know, little lines, uh, design lines like, this thing and the line here, ruin your painting. Don't put them in if you don't, they're not going to do much. You don't have to put them in. Take it from me. They just don't do much. Don't put them in. Okay. Let's get on the boat. I mean, this is pretty good. I think, like I was just saying, that stuff looks good. You know, this line here, I just don't. I'm going to get to colors like that real soon. I want to get into the boat colors. Um, they're pretty light though too. Pinks and things. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to do the front edge here. I'm going to put in just a little bit of cat orange. I got to clean my brush out too. Got to get the blue out of it. And okay, before I get the blue out of it, let me put in this thing now. Sorry, but this is that I was putting in with blue, phthalo green, and alizarin. So it makes this purple edge thing here. Not too dark. It's like it might be a hair too dark. Put a little bit of blue into it. Blue sky into it to lighten it. Yeah. That'll work. You just need a touch of oil. And that starts to get me into the boat colors. I'm gonna switch brushes. And I clean my oil too. My oil got a little dirty there. All right. I am gonna go and just put, like I mentioned before, just a touch of cad orange. Maybe just a touch of white into it. So it's a little bit richer than what I was gonna do. So I'm gonna bring that in. To this area here where the light's gonna be. I would have said also this blue line here, stupid move. Why I put that in there is basically because I was just trying to correct some drawing problems. And it just, now it's like, now I got it, I'm touching it, this light stuff, which is, shouldn't be doing that. Okay, the base color now. I just put that orange in there because I knew I want to warm it up right away. This base color is from oxide, transparent oxide in blue up top with a lot of white. Does have just a touch of value wise, it's probably at right at about a 5 or a 6. And it's just going to go in here mostly on top, and then I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. But this is going to have to go to come blue in some areas, and it's going to have to get a little warmer yet. So it's a nice kind of a putty color that works out real well. Definitely, good synthetic too right now too, because you can really cut with a synthetic. I've been painting mostly with synthetics on this painting too. So, okay. Gonna work that in back into this area, and then right in that bulge, right this, there's a line almost that separates these two out. And it's a purple line. And let's see, it's blue, red. Let's see, value wise, too dark, too dark, too dark, too dark. Okay, too dark. Put a little bit of sky into it. Lighten it back to where it should be. Push it into the orange a little bit. This is where I was saying was gonna have to put in just a little bit of cools and blues into that orange that we made up here. A little more sky right in there. And then that orange, right in the bottom part, right where I was touching there with a little bit of cat orange and white. And just work the two together right here. Just got rid of my purple anyway. This color probably should come up forward anyway. A little bit. Just a little greener at the front, so I might add just a little halo and blue here. Just draw it in here a little bit. And that's about it for that front end. I'm not going to do too much more. I'm going to add just a little bit of sky to the color I just had in my hand. There's an edge on the other side of the boat here. You can just right there on the edge, front edge, you can just see a little bit of other boat, right part of the boat right there. Just wanted to get that line up just a little bit. Okay, good enough. Okay. I am gonna just I'm gonna go with some pink for the back of this boat. Get the basic top part of the boat. Sometimes I always find the warmest light, really gets kicked off when you put a cool next to it. So just a little bit of pink into this, then work it back into this purple here. It should work out really well. It should be, it shouldn't turn to mud. And bring it on just a little bit farther than I was having it right there. I think it's going to come up to here. That's not too bad. Then I'm just going to warm up the very, very back end back in here, and that should help separate it. I'm going to put in, this is that oxide and white. And I'm just going to put it in pretty strong too, a little nice little edge. Like that, Mark. Let's work it up just a hair farther. Then you got both things. You got, as long as you get it pretty decently in here, that's almost gonna come just a little bit. Just a touch too bright at the bottom right here where it kind of shapes it. Okay. Close enough for government work. We'll do the top edge here. The color I just had there, I'm not just going to wipe it out. I'm going to come back here and just touch this thing up a little bit more with it. Okay. We go with gonna warm it up a little bit. Put a thin. This is just some cad orange with just a little bit of yellow in it. I was thinking this color here to start to get the color underneath this window, above this window here, this trim here, that get that reflection in here. Just get a little bit of warmth, more warmth, and then I'm going to cool it off. This will make me put in some paint, right? It's going to make me put in some thicker paint to cover up this stuff too. Back down everything here. So now I'm going to come back, just clean out my brush a little bit. Top one I'm going to go with just because it's now the bottom part here. This is the transparent oxide with white. I'm just going to try and do straight down strokes. Just clean my brush between. I have to go a little bit. See if I can get this last one just with one stroke here. Okay. Now I'm going to clean my brush. Just put a little oil on my brush and get this, start to get the window lines going up. This one here has a shadow on it. It's always good to come up right to that shadow. Yeah. And then twist down. Yeah. All right. It is a good idea to do it if you have the right size brush, but when you have a too big a brush, come back in and touch it up. Oh boy. There we go. Now I got the regular paint. This is kind of I'm gonna go a little bit yellower on the top here. I did have yellow up here, didn't I? Okay. Oh, a little bit too bright, too dark. Just trying to think of getting a little pink back in this area here. Might mix in a little bit. You see how that feels like it's coming out at me? I'm just gonna have to push it back a little bit. A little bit of orange and pink together here. Push this back with that. All right, well, that's all the kind of hard stuff. I mean, really. Most of the stuff has to just be, you just gotta have a steady hand. Put in. Right. That's a good start, really. There is edge of yeah, can't do it. Well, that's not bad. Um there is a separation of some ground here. Finish painting that in, I think. See, this is just could have a little bit more yellow and make really go against that thing, go against the uh, other ground. Just a little more interesting. Mixing a little bit of more yellow into my boat base color here. And then I'm adding just a little bit of white to it. Yeah. To get this sidewalk edge here. I gotta get my cone in. That's why. I gotta get this in. Then you got a lot of sand showing up there. Okay, that one change of yeah, some new cement here. More purplier than that. So I got a little bit blue. So I'm gonna go a little more purple to it. This is just a pale green and alizarin purple. Yeah. And then I'm just going to push it back into the shadow here a little bit. Just let the two mix, just do the mixing. That doesn't work. Just take a finger and do it. All right. Well, that's just, how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna have to push some, lighten up a few spots and put in all the other stuff. Here, let me show you a few things though. Of when I put in, I'm gonna put in this thing above the boat. And I just want to put it in with a really clean stroke. Doesn't have to be that many colors. Like I said, I was gonna, instead of putting it in with, I might add some yellow to it later, but I'm gonna put it in with blue and cad red, grayed out to about a, what is it? This is again 7 or a 6 with white. And I want to just gonna touch my brush with just enough oil in my brush, take the color, might gray it out just a little bit more. Okay. And I'm just gonna try and make it one stroke. And then just add the stuff to it, get the garment above it. And the same thing back in here. That's a little bit rough. And all the details back in here, just a little schmutzes. Most of those guys are all gonna be just you know, some line work with my knife here, especially when I have to do, run a line here above this thing. See how tough that is? That's why I put it in my knife. I can just, this thing will just run and I just barely have to push it down and it does all the work for me. So that's kind of stuff. Back there, definitely, I would say definitely stay in your your blues here for when you put this stuff in, you know, just drop them in with the edge of your knife. Boy, that thing just did not want to come out. I said also you could do a ruler, but the ruler's too big for this. If you're doing little lines and stuff like that. Here I'm just touching them in. And then this is how I'll put in all the other stuff too. When I put in these here, 1 second here, then let me see everybody's stuff too. When I make these, all the work things here, you're just putting them in with a knife and then just touching them in place. Basically making a box on some of these things. That's all this thing is. It's just a box. There are some other things, little things that hold them up and so be putting those in with a knife too. So we'll get to it. I'll show it to you later. One stroke. Okay. That's it. Trying to keep it very rich color wise. Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, so there could be some softening and some adjustments into the shadows. But that's a good start. Let's see what you guys have been doing. So take a chance. You want to show me, turn on all your stuff and we'll be ready to go. Let's see, we got Ellen right off the bat. Good girl. Boy, she just jumped into this class. All right. Oh, there she is. Hey, Ellen. Did you paint?
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah, you
Working
did.
on it.
Oh, look at that.
It's
Good.
got a long way to go, and the underpainting was kind of dark.
Okay. No, yeah, you got the basics. You got the good start on that. I know that you got the boat. The boat looks good.
It's hard.
Is it hard?
Yeah, so it's just finishing it, maybe.
Okay. It'll take
Yeah.
time.
I've got a
Okay.
bad connection, so I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries. Well, let's you keep working on it and put it put it up on the site. Be happy to take a look. Okay.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
There's Kim. Sick Kim. Let's see what a sick Kim paints like.
Dick Kim was looking forward to doing something today other than blowing my nose. So,
Hey.
Wow.
Kim, you got a problem.
I do, you're right.
Man, what is this wrong with you? Your colors are all wrong. Look at that thing. Your teacher sucks. Wow. That has a lot of good feel to it already, Kim. Nice job on that. You just erased out the thing. Good job on erasing it out. That looks good. Good
I
line.
painted over something, which was confusing, but in the end, it was okay.
Yeah. It's coming along really good. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a really good. Congrats. I would say, just watch the sky for it's not too gray, but I can't tell, you never know with these things.
Yeah.
But that would be, everything else. No, I wouldn't even touch it then. You got too much going on up there. It's already got things in there, you're done. Just watch your edges and put the schmutz in the back stuff in. Just break up little things. That's beautiful. That's a really great start. Congrats.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good
You're
job.
welcome. Good job. Let's go to Lynette and see what she did. Mindy, you better have your stuff. And Sarah, you came in late. You better have something painted. Here we go.
Oh,
Whoa.
Well, can you
Hang
see
on.
it? Okay.
Yeah, just
Okay,
bump
good.
up and turn up right there.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, you got your new iPad working for you, don't you? Keeps trying to center it for you. Okay. Good job on the boat. Colors, you could probably go a little bit warmer in the front end of
Yeah.
that boat. But just that will make it. I like your schmutz over there. The stuff over there, that's a lot of good stuff. I love that stroke up there of the sail, wrapped up sail up there. That's a great stroke. Your building back there, you did some nice strong squares and stuff. Soften the edges on those, and they'll sit perfect in there. And in the background stuff, just little more teeny glints of light off crap, and put in the stuff that holds his boat up. And there's some good, really great stuff going on here. I would say, when you do, don't forget about the windows in the boat up there. Make sure you just touch them and you break the squares up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the angle on the one of the front edge of the light on the window and stuff, you probably I'd straighten that out. I mean, it's coming straight down. It needs to come more at an angle.
Okay.
So just those guys, and the side ones are fine. Just the front window on the boat, that's beautiful. There's some great stuff going on there. I think, yeah, you got to lighten up some of the gravel a little bit. Could be lightened up. When you lighten that stuff up, that's going to pop that boat out. You know, that's going to
Okay.
pop the boat out too. So yeah, you got to go. But otherwise, there's some it's very handsome. There's some colors in there, very handsome colors. And then when you lighten it up, keep lightening it up as you are, I think it's going to be really beautiful.
It's mushy, but I'll keep trying.
Yeah, keep mushy. Mushy's good. Just
Yeah,
use
thank you.
more
Thank you
paint.
so much.
More paint. All right. We are going to Sarah Taylor since she's set. And then we're going to Mindy. Well, you're not Sarah Taylor. Wow, it took me to the wrong. Okay, Sarah, you came in late and you caught up. Congrats.
Thank you.
Good job on the boat so far. Yeah, it could probably go a little bit darker. That's the thing with the white boats, man. They scare the heck out of you. How dark you got to put in the shadows and stuff sometimes.
Mhm.
But otherwise, the drawing looks great. I would say, yeah, you got to work on the teeny details in the back. You know, you got those things coming. That's gonna be fun.
Cool.
That's a really good start there. Yeah, just little more guts, strength in the in the boat itself. The shadows need to be stronger just to hold it down.
Okay.
And it's not, it's just the way it is. Just keep pushing them and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Good job on the sky
Thank
stuff. Good job. And the gravel color is really pretty good.
you. Okay.
Yeah. That's some fun stuff. I like your stroke so far. The looseness is, really makes it, when you sharpen up things, it makes those things really pop out.
Okay.
Good job on the boat. So,
Thank you.
all right. Finish it.
I will.
Yeah, I know you do. You do a good job finishing them off. Congrats.
Thank you.
You're not a slacker like the rest of these guys. Definitely. Talk about slacking. Here we're going to our biggest slacker, Mindy. Mindy, you're slacking on us.
Yeah, I didn't get too far.
Oh God, look at that. Beautiful. That's so handsome though. The colors are really nicely muted together. That
Okay.
is nice strokes too. Look at those. I love the way you're brushing that on.
Yeah, trying to get on thick.
Yeah, I like the way that's looking though. That's looking really great, Mindy.
Thanks.
Really solid. Yeah, you finish your boat and that thing,
Right.
you're right there for all your small adjustments. I think that thing's, yeah, that's really gorgeous. In fact, I love the mutedness. Good job on that on the back.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And thanks for joining. Okay. Hey, I miss anybody? I think that's everybody. Yeah. Okay. We're missing quite a few people today. But I will finish mine up. You guys finish yours up, put them up on the site, and we'll see how they go. You guys did a great job. We will see you all next week. Next week, I think, is our last class.
Are we really still next week? Okay.
Let me check. I'm pretty sure it's next week. It's 7 weeks, not 6 weeks. So
Okay.
you were right last week. Okay.
Yeah.
You were right. I was wrong. So that's why. And then right after that, we start up again because I'm going to be gone in October a little bit. And so we got to get some fall in before then. And then that'll be our early fall. And then we'll have a late fall after October for classes. So that'll take us into the Christmas season. So I'm planned out. Hopefully you guys are as planned out as I am. It's not saying much these days. All right. You guys have a great week. Finish these up again, and we'll see you down the road. Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
All right,
Thank you.
girls. Bye.
Bye-bye.